Okay, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna, and today we're going to be talking about some more liquid blushes. In this video, we're going to be covering actually a couple from Dollar Tree that I thought I'd throw in, and one high-end one. But mostly we're keeping it pretty affordable, like the last video, which was all drugstore. I'll link that over here. This was the previous liquid blush roundup of everything I had tried. So we've got some more to talk about today because I've been trying some more and testing them out. Let's dive in. So I'm going to start out with this one from Maybelline. This is a new addition to their Sun Kisser range, or newer edition rather. These are a matte finish. They come in some beautiful shades, like absolutely gorgeous shade range. These are kind of hard to get your hands on. Like, I've only seen them at Target and online at Target. I have the shade, what do we call it here? Pink Mirage. And it is this gorgeous, vibrant coral. I mean, look at this. These have the most beautiful finish to them. They are like a very pretty, like soft matte airbrushed effect. They're just gorgeous on the skin. And I am a big fan. They brought these out for summer, and I haven't heard hardly anyone speak about them, or anyone speak about them. But they had some really unique shades in the range. And I mean, look at that. It is vibrant. It is beautiful. The formulation is just gorgeous. It's just a really, really pretty, soft matte, very easy to blend, easy to work with finish that just looks airbrushed and gorgeous on the skin. This is so good, and they had some really, really beautiful shades. So if you happen to be in Target, keep an eye out for these, because I think these are really good and worth checking out. Really lovely addition to the Sun Kisser range. It definitely adds a lot more versatility to the range. Previously, they had like some very shimmery ones that had a little bit of like glitter chunks in them. They have some that are just really beautifully ethereal, glowy. But they didn't have anything matte, but they had a really unique shade selection, as in they had like some that you could use more in a bronzing capacity, some that can function more as a highlighter. A really nice, well-rounded range, and this just makes it complete in my opinion. So jumping over to Milani, I have two formulations from them to talk about. We have the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow. These are stunning. These are a very refined, glowy blush, liquid blush that is very much akin to the Charlotte Tilbury glowy blushes. Yeah, very much akin to that in formulation. These have a very refined glow to them. They're not overly metallic. They don't emphasize texture where some of these type of products can. These look just beautiful on the skin. They have a really nice level of pigmentation as well as glow. They are more pigmentation than glow. They're very nicely balanced, very pearlescent, very soft focus, but glowy. Just a beautifully refined formulation, and the shade range is gorgeous. I've got all of them just about. But yeah, like this one right here is Luminoso and Pink Kava. They're just stunning. I have featured these so much on the channel. I think they're an outstanding glowy liquid blush option. Just very refined and easy to work with on the skin. It doesn't emphasize texture or anything like that. These are obviously like a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury with the little poof on the end. Not my favorite format, but they work really, really well and just look really pretty. You can layer these up. You can wear them on their own. They're very versatile in that respect. Also from Milani, we have, these are their an older formula that they have. This is just the original Cheek Kiss liquid blushes, and these are also very beautiful. These are a little bit softly pigmented. They're a little bit easier to work with when it comes to a liquid blush formulation. They're almost like a more, I always want to describe them as kind of like a gel-like formula. They have a little bit of a transparent quality to them. They blend into the skin beautifully, and they're very easy to work with without being too overwhelming pigmentation wise, but they are also extremely buildable. They remind me of paint. Like, you can squeeze a little bit out and you could squeeze out like another color and mix and match, layer them up. You can layer them with the blush and glows. You could just have so much fun with these. Again, really pretty shade range. I will caution you that all of them run a little bit warmer than what they appear in the components. These are going to be just a little bit warmer than what they look like on the skin. But they are so very pretty. They're so easy to work with. And yeah, I know the component, it might be a little bit awkward because it's a little squeezy tube. And you have to, squeeze it onto your hand, which is my preferred method for applying any sort of liquid blush. I always put it on my hand and then work off of a brush. So this just cuts out the middleman of a little sponge tip or doe foot or anything like that. And I find that these, you have a lot of playtime when it comes to blending them. They don't dry down too fast. They give you a lot of grace, and they're very beginner friendly for liquid blushes. And I just think the shade range, again, is gorgeous and a really nice formulation overall. And then we have from Winky Lux, this is the, what are these called? Cheeky Rose liquid blushes. I have the shade Noble. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous warm kind of rosy mauve blush that, oh, it is so pretty. Again, this one gives that soft focus type of finish that isn't dewy. It isn't matte. But it just looks really pretty on the skin. And it's also easy to work with. It's pigmented, but it's not hard to blend out or work with. This one has a little twist off, really cute component. But you got a little poof on the inside. I think, what was it? She Glam maybe did this type of packaging also. But you just bop this on. I usually do like one or two little doot doot and blend it out with a brush. It looks great. It's easy to work with and fairly pigmented, not the most. It's not like insanely pigmented, but it has a nice level of pigmentation. And I just think the shade Noble is very, very pretty. They have a few shades. These are going to be a little bit pricier on the drugstore end of things, but they are a lovely formulation. And I do like the applicator with this one, and actually don't mind going straight onto the face with it, which usually is not my cup of tea. But with this one, it works. I don't know. It's really nice and it wears beautifully. The one high-end one that I want to mention is from MAC. These are fairly new from MAC. These are the Strobe Beam Liquid Blushes. These are very pigmented. They have a little bit of glow to them, not an insane amount of glow. Well, these two shades in particular, they do come in a nice little spectrum of colors to these ultra pigmented ones to more of a highlighter appearance. Formulation wise, they are not too dissimilar from the glowy formulation of the L'Oreal Lumi liquid blushes. Like, they're not too far off in formulation wise. They have that kind of glow to them. I don't think that's quite as glowy as these, but they remind me of them. Very, very pretty, these two shades that I have. I've got the shades Apricot Jelly and Good Vibes. One is a gorgeous, deep kind of berry color that comes off pretty vibrant on the cheeks. Very pretty. On a deeper skin tone, this is going to look just, I can just see it looking absolutely amazing. But this is such a pretty, like, jam color. Like, it looks like it should taste really good. And again, it's very pretty and super pigmented, a little bit of glow. Yeah, it gives that very vibrant cold girl look on me. It's a very juicy berry. It's gonna be beautiful for the fall season. Going into winter, I think this color is gonna be really pretty, and I think it's a really nice formulation. I think they're beautiful, but I think you could get something just like this at the drugstore. I don't think you need to run out and buy the MAC ones unless there's just a really unique shade that calls to you. Formulation wise, I don't think they're anything that special, aside from them having some rather unique shades, like Apricot Jelly, very unique. It is just a gorgeous orange, like burnt apricot orange. I mean, look at that. That's so pretty. I love the shades. But yeah, again, I think between like Maybelline and Milani, Elf, Wet n Wild, L'Oreal, you can find a shade dupe and a comparable formulation. Like, if anything, these aren't quite as glowy as you think they would be considering they're from the strobe range. I would expect more of a sheen in them than what they have actually. Formula wise, they're nothing that you can't get really at the drugstore to get like a dupe of. I'm pretty sure you could dupe these colors. But yeah, if you're a fan of MAC, go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed in these if you pick one up. They're pretty. They have a great formulation. I just don't think it's anything outstanding that you can't get anywhere else. Okay, and lastly, I have two from Dollar Tree that I want to mention because they're liquid blushes. Why not talk about them? So first is this one that's supposedly kind of a dupe for like the Rare Beauty ones, which I have not tried. I hear they are extremely pigmented. And I add them to my cart fairly frequently and just never buy one. Like they have like the minis and they'll come with like a lipstick or something. I've added those to my cart. I don't know how many times and just been like, I don't need that. I don't need it. If you saw the amount of liquid blush I have, I don't need them. Anyway, so all that being said, I haven't tried the Rare Beauty ones. But this one from Dollar Tree, I don't think it is a dupe. Just because it has like this little round business on the top, which is like a sad excuse for trying to look like the Rare Beauty ones, which is a cool look. And this is just some weird little knob on top. I don't even know. It doesn't even look that neat. This is from B Color. The shade is Party Pink. It's actually a pretty color. Like, that's a very pretty pink. The thing is that it dries so fast, you don't hardly have time to work with it. It is a very, very fast drying, and it stains. So it gives you zero leeway when it comes to blending, and it stains. Like, look at this. So I would personally skip on this. It's a risk. She's a real risk to use. It dries so fast that if you put it on your face, you're not going to have time to blend it out that way. If you put it on the back of your hand, by the time you take a brush and work it into the brush to get it on your face, it's already dry. And it takes forever to build it up in that capacity. So this I would just skip. Don't bother with it. If you see it at your local Dollar Tree, if you're curious about it, save your $1.75 or whatever it is they charge these days. And don't bother with this one. I've seen the reels where everybody's like, it's a Rare Beauty dupe. Look, they are using the word dupe in those videos very generously. I'm a fan of the Dollar Tree. I have found some absolute treasures there. But when people say things are dupes, I don't think they know what the word means. No, it just reminded you of something. Now, they do have stuff that is obviously meant to dupe things, but this is not a dupe of anything. Anything good. Skip it. Now, this little guy from Ioni, if you see her, she's great. I really, really like this one. This one is worth going out of your way to get. I don't have... What shade is this? Warm Rose. How cute is this, for one thing? It's just a cute little guy. You got a decent amount of product. You got a chubbier doe foot. It feels better quality in the hand. And this color in particular, I think, is very, very pretty. It kind of reminds me of L'Oreal Worth It. Yeah, it actually reminds me of L'Oreal Worth It a lot. It, formulation-wise, pigmented, applies beautifully, easy to work with. Even though it is pigmented, you can blend it out. You have this gorgeous shade, and it is a nice, soft, airbrushed formulation. And yeah, you get a little more grace with it. Now, it does dry a little quick, but you do get much more time to work with this one than you do with the others. And it's just a gorgeous matte kind of finish. Soft matte. It's not like flat matte. Very comparable to this formulation from Maybelline. The L'Oreal Dewy. The dewy ones, they're not really that dewy. Very comparable to that. Comparable to the Wet n Wild formulation and the e.l.f. one. These are awesome. I love this one. I love it. I think this is, for $1.75, This is awesome. It would be awesome for $5. It's really a really nice formulation. And one more that tried to sneak past me. The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I have Suave Mauve. That is the shade. This is so very beautiful. Wonderful formulation. You got a decent amount of playtime with it. Very pigmented, very buildable. Has a little bit like kind of coverage and oomph to it. It is such a nice formulation and a beautiful shade range, a great price point. The e.l.f. ones are fabulous. So if I was going to rank these from like best to worst of just the selection from today, that I would say absolutely go for. If you're looking for a matte finish or more of a skin-like leaning matte finish, not obviously glowy, e.l.f. one, go for it. It is beautiful. It looks like it has a little bit of sheen in it, but it really doesn't. So yeah, the e.l.f. one is definitely the winner and going to be, I think, the crowd-pleasing formulation out of all of these. And beautiful, beautiful shade range. They have got a color for everybody in there. Wonderful liquid blush. My second runner-up is the Milani Cheek Kiss Blush and Glow. Liquid blush and glows. I think these are beautiful. It's a very refined glow. It's a very sophisticated glow. It looks like a high-end blush. It looks like, I think, probably prettier, honestly, than the Charlotte Tilbury ones. These are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They come in some of their legendary shades, such as Luminoso and Pink Cava, Dulce Pink. They have the matching baked blush to go with them, which is really cool because you can also layer those. So these would be number 2 in the ranking. And then for just the fun, versatility, and creativity, inspiration would be the Cheek Kiss original formulation, the just liquid ones. These are great. I love these. I love the Maybelline matte one. It's really hard to actually pick beyond that point. The MAC ones are great. I think the only thing that would make these lower on the list is just the price point, because you have so many great options at the drugstore. It's hard for me to rank a more expensive one or a higher end one above any of the other ones, because just based on price point alone. If something costs more, I'm a little bit more discerning with it. I'm going to critique it a little harder because it costs more. And I'm going to give a little more grace to things like this from Ayani. But that being said, I don't really want to give a whole lot of grace to anything from like the Dollar Tree, because some of that can be just so bad that it's not even worth the $1.75 or whatever. I think it's $1.75 now. But sometimes there's something from the Dollar Tree like this liquid blush that I think performs just as good as the e.l.f., just as good as the Wet n Wild, as good as any of them, that's worth checking out. However, this one, girl, come on. I could barely get this to work for me. So anyways, that is another ranking of some liquid blushes that I have procured and been testing out. Oh yes, of course, and the Winky Lux one. I love the Winky Lux one. And so it's really hard for me to rank them at this point because I love them all. Here we have another blush ranking of liquid blushes. Next up, I think I'm going to tackle cream blushes because I have quite the collection of that as well. And I'm just going to include high-end drugstore together in that one because I have a decent selection of both, but not quite enough of both, I think, to do dedicated videos for each. Yeah, and then I'm also planning a bronzer contour video coming your way. So let me know your thoughts down below, and if there's a drugstore one that I have not mentioned today or in my previous video that I have missed, please let me know so I can go get my paws on it, and let me know some of your favorite liquid blushes, high-end drugstore, whichever, and your favorite shades, because especially if you're around my skin tone, because I might need them. I might need them. Because I like liquid blush way too much. What's so weird is I did not think I would like liquid blush, and it has become one of my favorite things. So anyway, all right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. May the peace of the Lord be with you always. Bye now.